Number 3 between Sen and Hart. All right, spawning in the top left-hand position. The red Zerg. Give it up for Gamania Sen. And his opponent. Give a cheer. If you want Hart to advance, it's Axiom Hart. And as you said, we normally see a lot of 3 base timings for Terran. Normally you wouldn't say 3 base timings, but that's really what it is because you're going all or nothing. I see that so many times, but talk to me a little bit about the 2 base timings that Zerg might have. I'm just asking you right now, do they have like Roach, Zerg, and Baneling all-ins that are really good on this map?
Roach, Zerg, and Baneling is pretty good on this map, just because the distances are a bit shorter than some other maps. But usually you're not going to do that on 2 bases, because Terran will just scout, oh look, he's 2 base, maybe he's going to all-in me, and they're prepared for it. So more commonly lately, you're going to take a 3rd base, and then do a Roachling, Baneling off a low drone count, if you do with that kind of all-in. But I mean, you can still play a macro game. It's harder in this map than on other maps, but it's still not bad at all for you. I think this map is about 50-50, maybe a bit favoring Terran, but not much at all. I don't know. The stats never tell the whole story.
Yeah,
because the metagame's always changing month by month. So. And
especially at the very top tier. I mean, that's a completely different stat than all of Master Leagues or even all of Grandmasters Leagues. I mean, that's a wide range of skill. Sen playing so defensive. This is a 14 pool after a 15 hatch. So he hasn't made a single drone after he got the hatchery down and just focusing, saying, hey, I don't want to die to anything silly like an 888. And just be behind because of build orders. Instead, he's going to get in here with this Overlord and see, oh, it's a late barracks. Now, the first thing that will run through his head is, it's probably a command center, but I have to be careful. This might be this barracks, and it could be a double barracks, and he's just looking to all-in me or something. Although that's super rare. I don't want to actually...
Yeah, I think he'll probably know what's up. It could be a double barracks all-in, but I'd guess it's not going to be.
It's not. Of course, he's going to see the refinery and the SCV's mining. So that's the indicator to let him know it is a command center first. But it's definitely something that you think about. I mean, even if it's 1%, don't you think about it?
No.
All right, well, I hate you.
I just lose 1% of the time.
Okay, guys here. Anyway, factory going to go down for Hart. Just very standard play. It will be a 4-queen opening for Sen. Do you favor this over the speed openings?
It has its advantages. I like to do a 4-queen with speed opening, but that gives me a slightly worse economy, obviously, than this. But I think it's best to get 4 queens these days, just because it's good against the Hellions, and it gives you a lot of creep spread, and creep is so important now. I remember back in the early days of Wings of Liberty, when all the best Zergs like July Zerg never spread creep almost at all. And nowadays, if any Zerg did that, you'd be like, what is he doing? He's not spreading creep. He's so bad. But
yeah, it's kind of interesting because that's really how Zerg versus Terran has become. It's all focused around creep. Your attacks are focused on not killing expansions, but killing creep to then be able to have access to good engagements. And that's kind of weird to even talk about because if you are closer to a 3rd base or a 4th base, what you basically say is, hey, come attack me or else I'm going to poke your hatchery to death. It's an instigator. It says, hey, if you don't attack off creep, I'm just going to get a big advantage. Yeah. And that's where it really comes down in DVT. I mean, that's why creep... It's not considered good creep spread or manageable creep spread if your creep is right ending here. It needs to be all the way down here so you have more time so you can materialize off of your 4th base and you're fine. That's why I think a lot of Zergs, and even you told me, Ghost User, are choosing to take this location as their 4th base instead.
Yeah. Either way, you still kind of have the problem of not being able to have creep in front of the 4th where they're engaging. Because look at the 4th base. If you want creep in front of that, that's pretty far away. And you don't want it here because they can deny that with 1 scan. So you want it to be even farther than that if you want them to actually not be able to deny it with a single scan.
Yeah, it seems so unreasonable.
It's really far. It's really difficult to get. And it's the same thing for the other 4th base as well.
Yeah.
So.
And you can see most of the creep in the beginning stages are just focused on connecting the 3rd base and the natural. So you can definitely see the differences between this and, let's say, Akalon Waste. But a scout will get in here and see that it is a Banshee tech. Stim right behind this, and the third command center being placed down for Hart. So he's doing something similar to what we've seen before. Really favoring this Banshee stuff, though. I'm not a big fan of Banshees, but I do give it credit that it has application. But doing it every single time, I almost feel like it's going to get hard countered.
Yeah, I think part of the reason he wants this is just because he wants that quick Viking. And I feel like he just wants to make some more use of his starport than just making one Viking and nothing else. And I mean, it doesn't cost that much to get a single Banshee, so.
Yeah, I mean, might as well get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been doing too much. I guess you could get a Raven.
I wouldn't say get a Raven, but...
Oh, I thought that's what you said. Sorry.
No, like a medevac or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something else, you know? I just feel like Banshee every single game just doesn't work out too well.
Yeah,
and
I
you
mean,
can see it's...
Today we haven't seen any Banshees accomplish much. We've seen I don't know how many, but a decent amount of Banshees produced. None of them did too much damage.
We saw even Tasia perform with the Banshee. And
Yeah.
as you said, didn't do that much.
I don't even think we've seen any of them kill a drone yet. I think we've
No,
seen-
Tasia did. He killed like
killed
4 or 5. On Derelict Watcher?
Ah,
I don't know if you remember.
did he? I thought he killed
Yeah.
a queen or something and then it died. Maybe I'm mixing up my Banshee games because we've seen a lot of them. Lots of TVZ today.
Yes, we have. Hard just poking around. He still hasn't claimed his third base. It's 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the match, so nothing of too much substance, but we can see that 1-1 timings are pretty close, so there's no inherent build order losses or build order advantages or disadvantages just from the opening starts. Fourth hatchery is being started up here along with the Spire, so we're going to see Sen, you know, the 5 Roach into regular lair tech play. And again, this is going to be the timing where Sen is weakest. As you can see, a large group of units pushing out Marines, Marauders, and 2 medevacs. And this is a lot of times where Sen runs into a lot of complications. Now, look at what Sen's doing. He's pre-making his Banelings rather than reacting to it. And he's looking to shut this down pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any trouble holding this off, but this isn't that much of a timing push.
Yeah.
I mean,
This isn't a kill.
Yeah, he already has all of his infrastructure up. He has his 5 barracks, his double factory. This is definitely not to kill. It's just to deny some of this creep tumor. It's even denying the 4th, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and as you said, denying the creep tumors, denying so much creep that is currently out in the field that he wants to be pushing a lot further. Banelings rolling in, and actually not that good engagement. That's a lot of Banelings that you're losing on pretty early here. And there's no need to actually attack into that. I know, like, you just want to limit the amount of forces out in the field, but attacking off creep, again, you're going to get punished. And Sen put in a really dicey situation.
Double medevac drop on the other side of the map. I'm not sure how effective this would be, though, as there's Mutalisk popping out right now.
We'll find out momentarily, as the 1 Viking is going to clear up the room. And now here comes that drop that you were talking about. Meanwhile, the push on the right-hand side denies the 4th yet again. The Mutas actually going directly into a lot of those Marines. And how well will he deal with this drop? It looks like it's okay so far. Widowmine hit was able to connect before it actually died. And I have to feel like Hart's in a good position, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's denied that 4th base twice so far, and that significantly delays the 4th base of Sen. These days, you want to have the 4th at least about, usually done by now, I'd like to say, by the 13-minute mark, and he's just starting it now. And Hart, I'm not sure, I guess he just wants to move up this way and clear some creep tumors. I don't know if this is that necessary because the game will revolve around a push towards the 4th base. But I guess it's so nice to do. It doesn't cost him much more than 1 scan.
I mean, you might as well, in case it goes into that longer phase. But yes, I agree. It should be over in the mid right-hand position that we see that scan, right?
Yeah.
In all the army.
Yeah, because that's where he's going to be pushing in the mid-game. But he has a 4th base going up now, so I guess it's not super committed 3-base timing.
And
I think this could be difficult for her to stop. This position's difficult for Zerg in general, just because you can kind of micro around the side, and also you have the watchtower to provide some extra vision.
Banling will be able to connect kind of nicely. No real big surround engagements happening.
Yeah, I think you want to flank in this position as Zerg.
And still not going to be able to do that, as his units are coming in from a single direction. Zen not really able to materialize off of fourth base for a very long period of time puts Hart in a great position if they're equal in numbers and in count. Mutas will come in to kill this medevac that was trying to fleet. But it's all going to come down to this engagement, and I feel like Hart's in a great position to actually win any engagement that approach here, although his Widow Mine count is rather small, so that can definitely hurt him, and we're going to find out as Zerglings are going to try to wrap around all these units. Can he get a good Baneling engagement? No, he goes against most of the Marauders. The Zerglings get cleaned up, but the Banelings do kind of connect. Still not going to be enough, and oh my gosh, Sen has to back up from here.
And when Hart's doing that just so good is when he's microing back, he's fighting so much of the time, and he only starts splitting a lot when the Banelings are almost about to hit the Marines.
Exactly. I
so
mean,
by the time the Banelings are dead, all the Zerglings are dead too, and he just pushes forward.
The stutter step is something that's so difficult to do while you're also trying to get mines into position and things like that.
Yeah.
And then he makes the critical time of, or critical splits, as you were saying.
I thought that would be a tougher engagement for him. He only had 2 to 3 Widow Mines there, but he just crushed them in that fight.
And there it is, crashing through yet again, but where is he? He's off creep. And you can see a very cost-efficient engagement for Sen because of that, just inching closer and closer and closer, keeping his Marines alive, splitting when he needs to. And again, a very cost-efficient fight for Hart. I mean, this is the story of it. And it's trying to take this fourth base when you have no creep there. These are the type of engagements you can expect.
Yeah, and...
A little bit of life in Hart, or in Sen's composition here.
But I don't. Sen's in a tough spot now.
Yeah.
Hart behind this, he has his fourth base already taken, and now he's making into a planetary. If he manages to set up that fourth base with some turrets and a planetary, then against a 3-base Zerg, it's going to be tough to come back.
Yeah, definitely so. And the muta count, I mean, it's gone. There are no mutas out in the field. 0. 5 in production right now. But now Hart is gearing up to do damage against this third base. He's going to clear additional creep. He can play War of Attrition. He doesn't even need to attack a third base. He could just kill fourth bases continuously, stop the creep spread, and just say, get out of my game, because you'll never be able to keep up with me.
And Sen's so gas-starved. He's trying to get his 3rd level of upgrades and have his hives done. But he needs Mutalisks too, and he only has about 5 of them. And he also needs a lot of Banelings to defend against any pushes that Hart can do. So, I mean, he has so much he needs to do with his gas, but not enough gas to afford it. You just need that fourth base as Zerg to be able to afford all the gas units you want.
I agree. And now pushing up once again to deny this fourth base. He doesn't even have to worry because there's no units to contest him. Banelings moving in, but nope. They're going to die really swiftly. Goodbye. As the Widow Mine connection were good, the mutas get cleaned up, and that's going to do it. Sen just has no units anymore. GG gets called, and Hart will move.